Hi, everybody. I guess I'll start it off this time. I am TK97670.
And I'm Mike, TK5351.
Colin Durborough is my name, by the way.
Yeah,
and this is Caridacast.
Right. I don't know what episode now, 6?
Something like that.
Okay. Well,
good Lord.
It'll say it in the title if you really care what episode it is. So this is the unofficial
podcast made by two dudes who like Star Wars, who happen to be members of Garrison Creta and the 501st Legion.
Yes, and it's totally unofficial. And this is for Tyler, just so Tyler knows that we're telling him it's unofficial.
Yes.
Okay. So
should we also tell Tyler that his wedding wasn't this past?
Right. Yeah, we're sorry that we said your wedding was this week or this weekend.
Sorry to put that pressure on you. Sorry.
Right. So we're here May 8th.
Today is May 9th.
May 9th. Oh man, May 9th. So we're here May 9th. We just recovered from all the May 4th festivities.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess before we start it, we might as well just start and talk about events that just happened.
Yeah, I guess so.
Steel City was right after our last one.
Yeah, since this is kind of our combined April-May podcast,
right.
We'll talk about some of the things we were at in April.
Yeah, I did. Well, we both did Steel City.
Which was a lot of fun, yes.
Was that your first Steel City?
That was my first Steel City, yeah.
Yeah, I like Steel City. I didn't get to meet the Emperor, though, because Zoe was doing the judging of the costume contest,
yeah.
so I kind of missed out on that.
It was quick, but it was cool.
Yeah.
He seems nice.
Yeah, they all seem really nice there. Even Steel City treated us well. We're going back in August. I'm going back in August. So.
I'm going to try. I'd like to.
So any Carida members out there that want to share a room.
Yeah, hit us up.
Yeah.
So. Save some money on hotels next door. So that way
the hotel next door is $125, I think, a night.
Something like that.
They're pretty big rooms. So. Then what other events? Before May the 4th weekend, I did the dog walk. I did a dog... Oh, it's probably not on... Oh, yeah, there's our calendar. Let's see. It's not even on there. Steel City. Oh, yeah, I did the Barks for Life in Pottstown, me and Safi. That was my worst costume packing ever because I packed half of Safi's Ketsu and brought her gaffy stick, so I didn't bring her a whole complete costume. I just grabbed the wrong coats, and so she had to be a squire.
Oh, whoops.
But Marty was there, so I ran him through the dog course.
Oh, I saw the video that was on Facebook. That was hilarious.
Yes, so I have to figure out how to get all that to our PR people in Carida.
And impressive that he was able to run any of that while in Chewy.
Right. Well, did you hear I got peed on by a dog, too?
No kidding. Yeah, I think I remember seeing that with your armor. Yeah.
Yes. So, all those TKs out there, I took one for the team. And the lady was petrified. And I said, all I asked her was, did you get a picture? Because I figured it's plastic. It'll wash off. But she did not get a picture of the dog. But everyone got a kick out of it.
Then it never happened. There's no evidence whatsoever.
Oh, there was plenty of evidence.
Fair enough. What else? Let's see. I was not able to attend, but the garrison attended Brickfest in Oaks, which apparently is a really fun time. The Lego, it's like a Lego event.
Yes, I did that one year. That was a lot. That is a fun. Anything at the Oaks. I've said this on podcasts before. Anything at the Oaks is nice because it's just so big. Like Steel City was nice, but some of those cons, you get a little crowded, but the Oaks just has tons of space. We have Keystone coming up. I want to run the droid hunt again at Keystone.
Oh, yeah?
I'll go into that when we go into... I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go past events. We're talking about the past.
Let's see. What else happened?
Well, May 4th. Then May 4th.
Well, yeah, then there was May the 4th.
Then May the 4th. Barnstormers.
I was at the Barnstormer. We were both at the Barnstormers.
We didn't even get to talk. I think we waved across the room for a few minutes, but it was really cool. We had 10 people maybe more.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, I know there was some cancellations, and it was just the coming in the city was crowded because of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there was ZenkaiCon that weekend, the anime convention, and it was First Friday in the city. So,
and the ball game.
And the ball game. Rather busy, but a fun night. I got interviewed by CBS 21 News, actually.
Is it on the TV?
No, they didn't. I couldn't find a clip of it. He came over to me while we were all sort of clustered together. He did his thing, came over, asked, because he heard that I had the voice thing going on.
Right.
He asked if I was like excited for the start of the season. So I'm like, sure, yeah, obviously. And then he asked who I thought the best hitter would be, and I looked over and I said, well, obviously Lord Vader.
I was there when you said that. Right.
I mean, who else? He can literally use the Force and make the ball go as far as he wants. Why on earth would anybody be better than him at being a baseball player?
I did see the video, but they didn't cut. Did you see the video?
I saw the video of that. I was in that one, and that was just, I did the finger guns to the camera and then walked away.
But so, there, if you look up 21 News video, and but that was a good one. There was a lot of kids. Like Safi was in her Tuscan, so we did the loop a couple times. It took like an hour to one time to get around the loop, like just from the amount of kids. But that's always a fun troop, and they treat us well. They made sure we had plenty of water and snacks, and
they did. Yeah,
we need squires. That's what we should bring up on the podcast. All those people out there that just feel tired and don't want to suit up, sign up to Squire.
Yeah,
because we ran the Squires ragged that day.
And the helpers too. I think we even kind of had them pull some of the weight too.
Yep. So that would be and that would be a word. Did we go over Squire for one of our terms?
We have talked about Squires.
Okay. Because they call them handle. Yeah.
That was like the first episode, second episode maybe. I think we did that.
So if anyone listening that hasn't squired, even if you trooped a lot, have you squired yet?
I have squired before.
It's tough, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
But it's fun. And it's sometimes like for TKs, it's nice to squire because you can tell when a TK's in trouble before a TK's in trouble.
Yeah.
When you see his hand reaching, like something's unsnapped or something.
Shifting their pants or whatever underneath the armor. Yeah. Got to be quick with the camera though.
Yeah.
You never know when you're gonna find a trooper getting peed on moment that absolutely needs to be captured.
Right. I did a bad thing trooping at the Barnstormers. I wore a yellow T-shirt under my Under Armour, and when I was getting ready, Craig came over and said, "Oh, are you wearing yellow?" Because I guess my shirt was from when I put my belt on. Yeah, that was me. I was like, man, that's a rookie mistake. Normally, I wear a black shirt just for that same issue in case it would happen. But yeah, I was pretty bad that day. I was just trooping after work is rough some days. Because and for me Fridays are like I was ready to pass out anyway. But it was a fun troop.
Yeah.
So and we had 2 Royal Guards.
2 Royal Guards,
which is rare. I really like to see when they come in pairs. Kevin came all the way from Maryland.
Yeah. Kevin and Drew, they make a good. They're a good Royal Guard team because I think they have the same
buckets,
armor, maybe the same velvet too. I don't remember.
Yeah, it matches up pretty, almost perfect.
Yeah, they go really well together.
And there's almost the same build and height and stuff. So yes, that's really nice when Vader can be flanked by.
Yeah, we did. It was Vader, 2 guards, and I think it was maybe 2 TKs. I don't remember. Maybe it was just me. But we went. Me.
Oh, but I didn't go through the rooms with you guys.
Because we didn't go through. Well, it wasn't when we went through the rooms. It was when we went down on the concourse. We were trying to circle around, but we ended up stopping before the edge of the overhang because it started raining, and all the people with heavy velvet on didn't want to.
Right. No, I think Safi and I went the other way. We went down and around because she lost her Tuscan buddy, so I said, "I'll just stick with me."
Gotcha.
But she had fun. The Tuscan to her, she says, easier to wear than the Jawa. So,
I would think visibility would be worse.
Clothing
might be.
Well, I think the glow of the lights. If you have those Jawa lights in the right spot, it throws because you have to have real dark lenses, and then you have to have that. You have to wear that hood for the Jawa. You have to wear that hood so it kind of gives you that peak. So so you're kind of like always looking under the hood, and it's so hot. So she said that the Tuscan's much easier. Tuscan's an easy build.
Yeah.
It was that was probably the most fun costume to build because you can't really mess it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can.
You definitely don't have to make it look polished and clean.
Yeah, well, my armor is way past polished and clean. So.
Yeah, you and me both.
So, I did have my first crack in my armor, though. My first crack in 11 years.
In 11 years.
Right in the lower cod piece, and it's only because I packed it wrong. It's not even from wearing it. Like, you can't see it because for those that have FX know, it has that weird long piece under the cod piece, like right at the bottom, and it's a little crack in that. Most guys grind that piece off anyway. So
I was gonna say, welcome to the broken codpiece club. But
yeah,
all right.
No, it's not. It's just one more reason why I need to retire it, which I probably never will.
Yeah, exactly.
I did. You know what I did on May the 4th though is I took my armor into my school.
Oh yeah.
And I took I was petrified to get it to Barnstormers because I had my armor. I took 2 sets of armor in one tote, so I was worried when I took my Sand Trooper in, and then some students put that on, and some students put my TK on and did the morning announcements in TK and Sandy.
No kidding.
And I was worried that I would wind up showing up to Barnstormers with like an arm from my Sandy, no. So luckily I didn't, but that was my biggest worry.
No, maybe you just stuck one arm in mud or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Fell on one side. You could have passed it off. You would have been fine.
Yeah. While I was there, I would have caught that. Yeah. I'd have to stand with just one arm behind my back the whole time. And then we did Free Comic Book Day.
Free Comic Book Day was fun.
Before we get into that, next year, Free Comic Book Day and May the 4th is going to be the same day.
Oh, Lord. That's going to be a violent day.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you're listening to this and you want to book us, probably you should look at 2020. Because I'm thinking we're going to be booked full on the 4th already. Because I think our comic book day is already full anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to do the convoy idea to go from one event to the next.
I'm working on that. We're going to have a whole show just on that, trying to... Because so we did Free Comic Book Day. You did it when...
I was in Mechanicsburg, yeah.
And here, let me see. How many do we have? One, Mechanicsburg, Lancaster, Bethlehem, and York. Is that all the only ones we had? We had 4. I guess we had 4, so I did 2 of them. No, we had Oxford, too. Oxford's not on there. So, yeah, that was fun. Were you outside in the store?
We were outside for a long time, and then because it was really busy line, wrapped out around the building to get to the actual booth itself. But after a little while, we had sort of done all we could with the people that were outside, so we slowly made our way inside. It was a lot more space in the Mechanicsburg Comics Connection than the whatever the one is in Lancaster.
Yeah, Lancaster Comic Book Store. Yeah, there's Lancaster Comic Book Store has tons of comics, but not much.
Because the line in there winds around, and there's no real place to sort of explore on your own, whereas the place in Mechanics, because I did that one last year, and I remember having that problem. You were just cramped shoulder to shoulder in there. But Mechanicsburg had the line for the free comics was along one wall, so you could move around and see everything else without getting in the way and interfering of...
Do you remember who was there with you? Like...
Oh, it was...
Even the characters, if you don't know the names.
Yeah, we had a bunch of TKs. It was myself, Jeff Pottinger, and...
See, we should just went costumes now.
Yeah,
hurt someone's feelings.
Sorry, everybody. I'm so bad with names. We had a tie, 3-ish TKs, Shore Trooper, and... Vader. Of course, Vader.
Well, that's good. We didn't have a Vader. Everyone was asking for Vader. I told him, he's at another comic book store.
And, he was. He actually was. A couple different comic book stores. And then Leah as Juno.
Oh, okay.
And also, there was... we had a Shadow Trooper, too.
Oh, okay.
Fluffy and a Shadow Trooper.
Okay. Well, that's good. Does he have a Shadow Trooper Scout or a Shadow Trooper Trooper?
TK, Shadow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it
Stormtrooper, Shadow Trooper,
okay.
not the Scout.
I couldn't remember, because he used to have a Biker Scout. I don't know if he still has a Biker Scout. That's what I was just wondering. So, yeah, I was at the Lancaster, and we just had me and Safi, so we had a TK and a Tusken, AT-AT Driver, Royal Guard, and Boba Fett.
Oh, okay. That's still a pretty good crew.
Yeah, it was a good crew. I mean, 2 years ago at Lancaster, we had, like, a big crew. It just happened... Mm-hmm. Everyone was available, but it was a good crowd. The Ghostbuster guys were there, so we got to hang with the Ghostbuster. I think the one guy in the Ghostbusters is part of Saber Guild or not Saber Guild, Capital City Jedi, because I think I trooped with him at the Franklin Institute years ago.
He must have stopped by the Mechanicsburg one too, because a Ghostbusters
He had
gentleman.
like a beard. This guy had a
maybe
beard.
not. Maybe this was a different guy.
There's a Ghostbusters group in Lancaster area, and they drive like a little Nissan Ecto 5 or something. It's like a Ghostbuster car. It's pretty cool. But yeah, we were there, and then Joe said, I guess they were well on the way of raising well over $1,000 for the library in Lancaster. Joe gives all his proceeds for Comic Book Day to the Lancaster Library System literacy program or something.
No kidding.
So he was very happy. He didn't get out to talk to us that much. Like I actually went back later that night and said something to him, and he was really happy that we were there. He said book was for next year. I said, yeah, you're probably already booked, but I'll double check. And then I also did the Comics Connection in York on just me and Sappy. We tried to do our own little crawl. We rolled out and did that, and it was just us two. We just came in. We asked them where we could change, and then we just went out. And they were doing a food drive. They were doing a canned food drive. Were they doing one?
Yeah, they were doing one.
Yeah, so we were. It was kind of cool. It was bringing a lot of people in, and
there was a lot of food. All the barrels they had were piling over the top. They had a toy drive going on too of Star Wars toys were being piled in there. Noticed there were those packs of like. I didn't even know they made them. They were the toys of the the Macquarie concept characters.
Yeah.
I didn't know those existed, and somebody was saying that they're like old school convention exclusives that now they're being sold as like regular mainstream toys. I thought that was kind of bizarre, but
yeah, because they get around it with the packaging. It'll say exclusive, which means the packaging and the figure, so they can put it in a. But yeah, so that was good. I was happy to help those guys, and then. I think that's really all the events that I've done. It's, we have the Han Solo coming up. What's that? 16 days away? Something like that?
Yeah, 16 or 17 days.
Yeah. We have our tickets for the first night opening. And then we're going to do an after show. Zoe's podcast will do an after show. Mm-hmm. So if you get your 7 o'clock tickets for Penn Cinema, you can come
I'll have to, huh?
You can come to the after show and we'll record it.
I'm excited. It looks like it's going to be good.
I know. I'm just excited too of all the costumes coming out of it.
That
every one of the trooper costumes I like just as much as the next.
Yeah. A lot of people seem to dislike. There's been a 50-50 split on that whole Mud Trooper thing. I'm kind of a fan. I kind of dig the Mud Trooper look.
It feels to me like almost like a throwback to Lucas's costumes.
Yeah.
Where Sand Trooper is just a dirty, you know what I mean? That, like some people are complaining, well, it looks like they're just using pieces. Well, that's what made that's what made the original part true or good. So, so we have a whole bunch of those coming up. Like, let's see, that's Memorial Day, Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend. We have Thursday the premiere. We're in Lidditz and Allentown. So if you're listening and you haven't signed up, sign up, and you want to check to see if they need squires too, because that's going to be a big one. Then Friday we have the York, Exton, and Allentown. We're trooping the Exton one. I'm not trooping opening night, but I'm trooping the Exton one. At the movie tavern, and then that Saturday we have Collegeville, Millersburg, and Allentown. And then
looks like even Sunday
there's the Millersburg, and then there's the Walnutport drive-in. I'm trooping that.
Oh.
I'm trooping. You should troop because we're off Monday. There probably is.
Oh, I'll have to get on that. I love drive-ins.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's been a while since I've been to a drive-in.
The last time I was at a drive-in was for 2 Spider-Man movies ago. Not the last one, but the one before. The 3 Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 3, the Venom one?
No, the one after that with the new the formerly new kid.
Yeah, the formerly new kid. The first Andrew
Lizard, the guy with
the
that one.
The last, it's funny you say that. The last drive-in movie I was at was the Venom one.
Okay,
the Spider-Man 3.
So, we went to one out near Gettysburg, Hars.
Yeah, maybe it was. It might have even been that one.
Yeah, so...
Because there aren't too many around anymore.
Right. So this one is at... this was at Becky's
Port.
Drive-In in Walnutport, which I think is up near Allentown. So that's probably the big stuff we have coming up.
Sorry, ignore me.
No, that's all right. So, I mean, I don't think we really want to go much past Solo. And then, in May, it's the Solo movie. We do have... don't want to leave out some of the... May 13th is the Mother's Day truck convoy in Lancaster.
Yeah, I'll be at that one.
On the 12th, there's the Salvation Army Rock and Run, the Muscle Walk for Greater Philadelphia, Camp Hill Star Wars Appreciation Day, and Allentown has the Iron Pigs game. That's Saturday the 12th.
I think I'm going to be at the Star Wars Appreciation Day. That's a library visit.
Oh, is it? Okay.
In Camp Hill.
We are going to be away, so... so the Sunday's the truck convoy. Then there's one on Wednesday. There's a Star Wars book fair and open house in Lewisberry, PA. I think they're looking for troopers for that. So anyone that's near Lewisberry, check in. Then Greencastle has May the Cure Be With You Friday. That's a Friday night.
A relay for life. A relay for life, I believe that means to say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a typo. And then Saturday the 19th, we have the Ronald McDonald House in Scranton. That's a 5K walk and run. Mechanicsburg, the Simpsons Library Comic-Con. And Berwyn, PA's Challenger Day, Saturday 19th.
Challenger Day.
Yeah. And then Sunday the 20th is Take Steps for Crohn's and Colitis. And Halifax has the Wildlife Conservation Day. I might do that Halifax one. I just gotta look at my schedule. It's like an hour from here, like an hour and a half. But it's at a park, so it could be fun.
Yeah.
Again, troopers, if you're hearing this and you just check the calendar, they're always looking for people. Squires, again, if cadets are listening to this, squiring will help you get your stuff done because it kind of gets you pumped and makes you want to troop. So, and you learn a lot about the costumes if you help squire before or after.
You learn a lot about adult Star Wars fans too.
That's true.
The regular guests and how often they like to grab TK and Darth Vader butts.
I haven't had that happen yet.
You haven't?
I mustn't have a good...
Both Craig and I had that happen at the Barnstormers game. That was interesting.
I must have an ungrabbable TK posterior. Well, no, you know what? The FX kit, the butt piece is connected. So maybe that's my...
Oh, that's what it is.
Maybe I didn't even know it. All these years. So I guess that's it for that. Let me think. We have... Well, I have town halls for the members this Thursday, probably when this podcast is going up. Maybe even... It might be past, depending on how much work we get done. But I'm going to do a town hall next week. So it'll be up on the boards. Check it out. We had some issues with Chrome. So if you want to be in a town hall, just make sure your Chrome is up to date.
You should probably make sure Google Chrome is up to date regardless of what...
Right, but I mean, some people, like I know if you're a Mac person, you just wind up using Safari.
You can still download Google Chrome for those of you Mac people. I am also a Mac person.
Oh, I know,
use Google Chrome instead of Safari.
I use Chrome all the time, but it seems like the Mac people that don't do much more than just light browsing, they never... Because...
never installed
and then they never installed Chrome, or they installed it like 10 years ago when it, or whenever it first came out. And yeah, so if you have Google Chrome, update that, and it will help with the town hall. But I think the town halls are fun. I don't know. You haven't been on one yet.
I haven't. I've worked.
There's an app on the phone too.
Yeah.
The Google Hangouts app. It's just nice to see everyone's face. Some people turn it around, but I don't know. It was fun.
I'll try and log in. We'll see if I'm actually able to talk or say anything. Though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like we had last time, we had some people couldn't log in, and it was a little bit of a mess. But the first time we had 7 people, and it was kind of neat because You just talk through things, because when we're trooping, sometimes you don't get to talk to each other because you're busy trooping, and then when you're done, you just feel like talking about nonsense because you're tired from trooping. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, anyway, check that out. Let's go to the forums and check things out. I didn't get any word back from any of our other neighboring garrisons, so I would imagine that if you're in Western PA, check with Star Killer Garrison, and check. They probably have a whole bunch of solo things come up. If you're in Maryland, check with Old Line. Delaware is First State.
Yep.
Jersey is
Northeast Remnant.
Northeast Remnant. How about New York? Always forget New York north
Empire.
of us. No, but that's Empire is New York City. What's New York State? Anyway, so that'll be our homework. We have to figure out who. But if you're north, check with New York's garrison. But check. I'm sure they have tons of solo events. That's
we've kind of hit the wall on events talk.
So let's should we go to our we don't have any lingo. Do we have any lingo that people might not know? Have we done totes? We've done totes.
I don't think we've done totes, but totes, real quick, refers to the boxes in which our armor travels in.
Yes, and we were talking about this at the last troop. We were saying, well, if you ever see people in these big black wheeled things that you buy at Home Depot for tools, I guarantee there's more people buying them for Stormtrooper armor than tools.
Oh yeah, most likely.
Because if you filled that thing with tools, I don't think you'd ever be able to push it.
Yeah.
Because it's heavy enough empty. But
I've experienced some on a gig that I worked that were filled with chains that you use to lift motors into the air, and we actually couldn't physically wheel them because they were so heavy.
Yeah.
They were filled to the brim with just like metal chunks and chains.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think the handles would hold up. I would think the handle would bend.
It didn't. It broke the plastic, so
okay.
we had to get a little forklift in to lift that up and move it. So listeners out there, I guarantee you if you see those at a store, it belongs to or will be going into the hands of a Star Wars fan.
Right, and if with any holiday coming up, if you don't know what to buy your Star Wars fan, get them a nice Husky or Stanley tote.
50 gallons are usually the safest one to go. Yeah. They fit most armors.
Right.
Maybe the armor in a separate helmet bag.
So I can fit my TK and my helmet and everything. And even all my extra crap for when the kids break something of theirs. In the stand or in the I have the Huffy or the Husky tote from Home Depot. It's a commercial for Home Depot. Home Depot, get your Stormtrooper tote. Well, yeah, that's what. So totes, if it's just weird because you'll be driving down the road and I see one in the back of a truck and then I just think, hey, someone's trooping. Probably not.
There you go, listeners. Totes. There's our lingo for today.
Right. Yeah, I don't think we have any other lingo. Someone send us some lingo to talk.
Please, yes. Send in things acronyms and lingo, buzzwords, things that you're hearing Star Wars nerds say that you believe would be referencing some sort of costuming or event or traveling or, even if it doesn't have anything to do with that, ask us what the lingo is and we'll Google it for you.
Right. So we're going to our CRL.
Yeah.
If you tuned in before, that's Costume Referencing Library.
Yeah, and today I thought we'd take a look at the new Inferno Squad, which is Inferno Squad is a variant of a TIE Fighter pilot that was introduced in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 video game. The story mode introduced this essentially squad of elite TIE Fighter pilots that go on kind of half-sanctioned missions from the Empire when they're like, okay, we need this thing done, we need it done quick and clean. They call these guys and they go in and do the job well and get out, and that's them. They're really cool, badass group of
right
TIE Fighter pilots. And for a little bit I was looking into putting the costume together specifically for a character named Gideon Hask, because he and I have similar facial features, and if I styled my hair right, then I could troop possibly without the bucket on or with it on.
Right.
But as I did some research, I learned that it is not as easy of a costume to put together as I had initially thought it would be. what I thought it would be would just like sourcing the gloves, boots, and the specific undersuit, the flight suit for it. And then I thought, hey, maybe I could buy a secondhand like stormtrooper chest and back armor, because that's kind of what they look like that they're wearing in the game. But not quite. As it turns out. The interesting separate design, the chest I could probably get away with a stormtrooper chest painted black, but the back is slightly different, where it's the same design, just more detailed, like the way they have it in the stormtrooper backs in Rogue One, because that's like the most recent movie version of stormtrooper armor. But there's also this little cut in the top of it that is indented in for the little droid, the little assistant droid to clamp onto in the game. And I didn't realize that was a thing, and so that killed that dream really fast. But there are some other really cool small details that separate this specific version of TIE Fighter pilot from others. For instance, in the helmet alone, the lenses for the basic approval, the lenses can be either bubbled or flat, but they're red to make them look more badass, evil, I guess. Right, more evil. But to reach level 2 certification, which there are only 2 levels of certification for this one, they have to be specifically red bubble lenses, and they have to be backed with a round holed mesh or screen behind it to make it look like almost like a fly's eyeball, sort of that the spect look.
Yeah, I saw a Vader with that in, so I'm gonna have to read the CRLs on Vader's lenses again.
I don't know if that would help or hinder vision, because it doesn't. From what I've seen, I don't think I've seen people put like just see through. Obviously, you can see through the little holes, but like the mesh itself is solid, so that's only.
Well, the Tusken has mesh in it. The Tuskens have mesh in the back.
Oh, no kidding!
Like it's screen, like house screen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think if you're close enough to it, you're probably okay. I don't know.
I would think it'd be different for these because it's a specifically cut mesh to look like holes. Yeah. So it needs to be thick enough that you can actually get the effect of the holes. So I don't know.
And they have to have that functional pillbox on the back, which I don't understand. Like, is that where you keep your car keys?
Yeah, you sticking a spare house key in the back of your TIE Fighter helmet. But what I've noticed has been tripping up a lot of people with the helmet specifically is the decals and all there's a red like stripe on the right side. There's an Imperial cog on the left side and a Inferno Squad logo on the right. All those need to be actually painted on. They can't be decals.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
Yeah, let me see. And it says there it is slightly different. Like the space between the teeth are cut out. It looks like, I mean, you can't just use. I was in the same boat. I thought I could just get a
TIE Fighter helmet. But that's not necessarily true. You kind of have to have a specific formed version.
Yeah, here it is. There's 2 painted. No, it says they can have decals.
Oh. Okay.
So it can be painted or decal.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel better. I'd seen a lot of people arguing over whether or not because Anovos had been offering Inferno Squad helmets, and they had been arguing over whether or not the decals were.
Yeah, well, they say painted or decals on all of them. But if you want to see the live action, they did have on the Star Wars show a couple months back. Mm-hmm. All the guys with their costumes were built, and I don't know if those costumes were 100% approvable, but they were pretty close.
Yeah, I think for one thing, they were built to the specs of the actors who acted in the video game. They did like a paintball thing or something.
Yeah. They couldn't wear the mask for paintball. Yeah. But yeah, that was so that's the helmet alone has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different requirements, which seems like a lot for a helmet. I don't remember the TKs having that much. And the flight suit looks pretty much the same, except it does have that red trim. And I know for the flight suit, the type of material is what changes if you're second level or not. It says whatever Oxford weave canvas is. I don't know what that is, but if you have that, you'll be in
then
level
you
2.
can apply to level 2.
And the patches, it says, has to be embroidered if you want level 2.
Instead of just, like, Velcroed on or...
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that do embroidery. Like, I think Wally does some embroidery.
The other thing that separates this flight suit from regular TIE pilots, or even there's the 181st
right.
flight. Well, the 181st has...
From the EU.
Yeah, from the old Legends, I guess they are now.
Yeah.
They have red stripes up both sides, but you can't even repurpose one of those for this because the Inferno Squad only has red stripe going up the right side.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that that kind of made my researching a little bit more difficult, whereas there are a lot more places to find a cheaper version of the... Like, it's still looking kind of accurate, but, within my price margin of a flight suit, it's hard to find one, too, or a cheap version of having it made specifically for me.
Now, and again, I don't know much about TIE pilots, but the chest box looks pretty close to the same.
Yeah, I don't think there was too
that
much
might be more
that changed.
rounded.
There's the greeblies on the sides are a little bit more specific. It almost looks like there's a gear or something there instead of...
Right. We have to get a TIE pilot person on here. That's what we have to do. I think we're going to have to start now getting experts on these CRLs when we do a CR. Yeah. Like get a TIE pilot.
Yeah, maybe.
Get Tyler. See what Tyler's doing. Tyler can be our TIE pilot guy.
Every other TIE pilot person out there is like, no, pick me.
I'm just thinking of someone who's close by. That we can, no offense to any other TIE pilot. Maybe a TIE pilot roundtable to discuss discuss the ins and outs.
But to get to level 2, though, with this whole chest box ordeal, you have to have working LED lights in the little spots where they would be indicated on there.
Yeah. Those rocker always remind me of old organ buttons.
Yeah. The stops, the flip switches. The thing when I originally saw the characters in the game, there's a sequence that they do where they actually don't wear the chest boxes. They just have like their armor on and they're on the ground running and shooting stuff, but they still have the bucket on. No tubes, no chest box. And I really liked the design of that. I liked that it would be more functional and that you're not worried about the box. But for this CRL, they are actually requiring the chest box be a part of it.
I wonder if it could be removed though. Like a...
I think you could maybe stick a magnet in the back of it or something, but it's...
I mean, I'm just wondering, I wonder if they'll eventually become like for those that don't know, the Sand Troopers have the Mos Eisley Police Department, and so you can do all sorts of Sand Troopers. I wonder if eventually there'll be another CRL, because these are pretty new.
Yeah, they are still, and they've even still been kind of a work in progress if people have been providing more evidence to...
Right. And I think this one actually got done sooner, mainly because they made those costumes for the Star Wars show. Yeah. So that kind of gave them a jump start. Because any of us that have worked on costumes, the CRLs are constantly changing, and which isn't a problem if you're already in. Like if you make your costume to CRL that's today, you're in. If they change it tomorrow, you're not taken out, but the guy following you might have to make changes.
Have to change something.
And that's where as much as I always say people, you can take as long as you want on a costume, you don't want to take too long, because you could start with CRL that started at one point and it changed. Because even the Sand Trooper, like when I started, the Sand Trooper basically was just a stormtrooper. You just had to have a different ab plate and that was it. There was really not much else. And now it's gotten to different hand plates and stuff like that. Yeah. So, and then there's a bandolier. Now, the bandolier is only on this guy.
Yeah, that's only specifically for Agent Hask, his name is. And it's like a big, wide leather strap that it really kind of has no purpose other than looking cool. Yeah. And he's got it's like a stormtrooper belt piece on either side of it on front and back. I guess it's as if he were carrying ammo, if there was a reason for stormtroopers to be carrying ammo, even in the packs on their heads. Right. It just looks cool, I guess.
And it's only really to be made of leather. Yeah. And what it says here... Yeah, it says here, worn on top of left shoulder. I don't understand some of the...
So that's like, it has to be, or left to right, or whatever. Okay. So it can't be, fixed to your dominant arm. Like, if if you more naturally wear over-the-shoulder bags one way, you can't just go based on that. You have to have it based on the way it's pictured in the CRL.
Oh, okay, because I see here in this, it just says worn diagonally across chest.
Yeah.
It's for first certificate. So if you want to be the second cert, you got to wear it atop the left shoulder, and it has to be made of leather. So it at least seems like this character, the leather's the key to get the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The belt though is just it's like an Imperial officer belt.
Right.
Which I liked that. I liked that with these costumes it kind of was pieced together out of other costumes. And that's why I thought I could maybe get one cheap, but obviously I was wrong.
And then and then this one again, the snap has to be worn to the left, and it has to be made of leather for second cert. And then there's a holster which looks like the TK holster.
It is.
And,
but it's I think it's even the loop version or whatever.
Yeah, it
where
looks
it
like the
loops
loop
over the belt.
Yeah, that's the kind I have on my old. Yeah,
instead of mounted.
And it says an affixed sign and affixed with 2 black loops over the belt, and holsters made of leather. So, and then the boots, they honestly look like they even look like some of the Vader boots I've seen. Yeah,
the thing that's different about them from regular tie, they are pretty much regular tie boots, but these ones are a little bit higher, and along the back there's like a belt buckle that wraps around.
And I think they have to have tread.
Yeah.
Oh, it says it may have tread or no tread.
Well, it's kind of a lazy level 2. Boots are replica Inferno boots. Of course. Of course. They're going to be that anyway.
And it's made of leather.
And they're made of leather.
So.
But there are a lot of different optional accessories for these guys, because there are so many different scenes in the games where they're just in different versions of their armor, which is why I argue you should be able to keep the chest box off.
That might happen, though. I wonder if they'll change that. That could happen.
Maybe.
But the head covering, balaclava, is optional, which I think most people that do a TIE pilot, because that's a big helmet, but the back is always open. I'm surprised they made that optional.
Yeah. I don't think it was optional for a while. That was one of those things that was back and forth for a while. I personally, I would not, because I would find myself maybe like even a TK neck seal or something to a hide shirted turtleneck or something, because then I could take it off and I would look kind of like.
But you even have on the back of their helmets, you even have about 4 inches.
Yeah.
But like the TK comes down, you could scrunch your head and get away without a neck seal probably with a TK, but with that I don't think you can hide the back of your head. The hoses, now I would imagine TIE pilots are probably upset about this, because those hoses seem like to be the biggest pain for them. Yeah. And for this, it's optional.
And it is, because they really don't wear the hoses in the game. I don't think I remember a scene with them wearing the hoses.
I ran out in with Safi's Ketsu. When it's animated, she has hoses too. Mm-hmm. They just disappear randomly. Yeah. Like when she's standing there, there's hoses. As soon as the battle starts, the hoses disappear. She's turning her head. Yeah. So, and I had to have hoses when I sent the pictures in for her. And then, then we have the code cylinders.
Yeah, they would be stuck up in the pocket like a normal like an officer, basically.
And then what's it? Hero cylinders. Oh, they have to be aluminum. And stunt. So I don't understand this. There's 2. That's weird for level 2. There's a hero and a stunt version.
Huh.
So.
I mean, that being said, these are still a work in progress.
I guess the stunt have to be same color as helmet marking, so red, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
That's, it's, and then the E11 blaster, I would have thought they would have had the E22. I would think that group, the E20, like a sawed-off version of the E22 from the Shore Trooper, just would have been a cooler blaster.
I guess that would have been, but because for this character, it might be different weapons for the other characters. Right. I know the one wasn't even shown on here, and he's like the sniper. So he has that. He has the E11. He has, I think, he even has a pistol too or something. So there are different ones that they've had in the game, but I think they went with the E11 for this one because it is. That's A, the holster that this character has, and B, it's a pretty easy one. It looks good on anything. Right. So,
and then the ID-10 Seeker droid, that's the one that snaps on the back.
Yeah, that's the one that snaps on the back. Some people I've seen have actually managed to mount the legs so that it actually is mounted on their back, which is pretty cool. It wouldn't work so well with Hask because of the band around.
I can imagine a droid builder somewhere is thinking I can make a drone of that.
Oh yeah,
and
I've
then
seen
it
some.
can just fly right off the person's back.
Oh, maybe I haven't seen that, but that would be cool. It would be tough, but it would be cool.
Get the droid builder to run your.
Oh look, there's even an optional face.
Yeah, that's what I thought was pretty
Short,
fun.
Conservatively styled hair. See, I would.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just got it cut today. So.
So that's all. That's our quick look at.
Specifically, Gideon Hask.
Yeah, and the only two they have are him
and the commander Iden Versio.
Yeah, so that's the only ones they have right now.
There is another character, Del Mico, his name is, but his was the most like armor and weapon changes throughout the game, so I think that's why his is still.
Yeah, he'll probably have a pile.
He has a lot of like Sand Trooper style ammo pouches, like the leather ammo pouches. I think he has a Biker Scout thermal detonator in the back, and
oh, okay. Yeah, this guy Gideon doesn't have like the red markings on his arm, like I've seen on the other ones. His is probably closest to the pilot.
Yeah.
That I've seen.
Well, he has it down the.
Right, but I mean, but if you look on the, Iden has that little pauldron.
Oh yeah, she has the separate mini pauldron.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the undersuit is actually the same.
So that's
fitted, but the same.
That's our CRL.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you haven't heard of or learned about the Inferno Squad people, I recently read the Inferno Squad book, and that was actually really good. They're a cool group of characters because they're like hardcore gung-ho Empire, at least for the longest time.
Right, because it starts out with them seeing a Death Star 2 blown up.
Yeah.
That's what it starts. I've only played the game up to being locked up. I'm way behind in playing my... I went and got it the day it came out in armor, and I'm still way behind. So...
Yeah, it takes a couple turns. But I like them better as Empire.
Yeah, okay. I'll try them out.
To not spoil anything.
Right.
All right.
So I think that's it we got, right?
What else can we go for?
We got costumes.
Stuff to talk about. Could talk briefly about, I know we had mentioned earlier, the new Star Wars Resistance TV show.
Oh yeah, the new Resistance. I don't know what Empire people we're going to get, so that'll be all First Order.
That's going to be all First Order.
First Order stuff, so I wonder what, we'll probably get maybe some pilots, I would imagine, since it looks like a pilot.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get a lot of Force action with this one. I know Rebels gave us, Kanan, excuse me.
Yeah.
And Ezra.
Right.
And so, we had some more Jedi lore involved in there, but I don't think we're going to get that with this. I think we're going to get more of the... I honestly think we're going to get more government in this series.
It might be more like the Clone Wars, too, where you had those episodes that there were no Jedis, where it was just battles and stuff like that. Well, and there's rumors of even more shows coming out for the Disney pay service, because they're going to have like a Hulu or a Netflix type channel. So we have tons of stuff that could happen.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. I'm excited to see how they treat Star Wars in an almost anime style. That's the way the article that I read about it is. That's how they described the visuals of it. And I know a lot of people aren't fans of anime, but it is a really versatile way of. It can be very colorful. It can be very very actiony too.
Well, I do remember when Clone Wars came out, people were a little off put by that 3D animation. When it first came out, and they put it in the movie first. They put it in the theaters first. I liked it, but I'm curious to see where that goes. And I did mention Keystone Comic-Con in this fall. We're going to try to do a droid hunt. Have you ever done a droid hunt?
I have not done a droid hunt.
I'll give you a mini droid hunt lesson. I was in charge of the one in Steel City a couple times. So basically, it's a way to make troopers interact with people other than just standing at the table. So the example, if you do it at a 3-day con, the example is the first day is you give out droid hunt cards. The second day you hunt them. The third day you give out prizes.
Okay.
So for that con, we might print up, say 600 droid hunt cards. And that Friday they have lanyards on them, and you just say to people, "Here's a free. Are you going to be here tomorrow?" And if they say yes, you say, "Look, from 1 to whatever, 1 to 3, we're going to send out troopers hunting these cards down. You have to wear them on your person out, and then you branch off into groups of troopers. Minimum of, I think you have to have 2 per group, and you have to have people with buckets on. They can't be face covered people." Mm-hmm. And you can have one with you, but you have to, and one of the people that is in full costume, it can't be like a Darth Maul or something, they have to have a bucket on. They have to say to the person, "How long have you had these droids?" And then that person has to give you their card back.
Oh.
And then you give them a little raffle ticket. They take the raffle ticket back to the table, put their name on it, put it in the, whatever container you have. Oops. They put it in a container, and then and then we go break up into our groups. So we might have, the one time we had a bunch of sand troopers, a bunch of TKs, and we all broke in our groups and we hunted for a couple hours. And when a TK gets like 10, they take those 10 back to the table, and someone marks, okay, TK Team A just collected 10, and you keep track of how much each team's getting. You do that for X amount of hours. Then when the hunt's over, anyone that still has a droid hunt card around their neck, they can bring it up to our table and get a raffle ticket. They don't have to turn their card in if they don't want it. And then, then on Sunday, we start pulling names. And we just have prizes. And you win a prize. Pull your name. And then if they want when they come to claim their prize, they can also get their card back. Their droid hunt card back.
Cool. That's really cool.
And so it makes people fan out. You have to talk to people. And then our dream, if this works well, like I got to send the artwork and get it approved from Lucasfilm and all this stuff. And there's a couple, process in it. But the dream would be, since it's Keystone Comic-Con down in Philadelphia, we're going to invite other Legion or other groups. So we might have a group from Delaware, a group from Star Killer, a group from Jersey, New York. And then we can kind of bragging rights. Like, hey, our team won the droid hunt this year.
Okay.
And it's a lot of fun. I mean, it just makes, sometimes if you get a lot of troopers at a table, you can only do so much with 10 people standing around a table. This way, if 20 people show up, you break them up into groups of 2s and 3s, and
send them out,
and you pan out through the con. Like vendors will have them. You just give the cards out the first day to anyone. Anyone that'll take them.
All right. Yeah, that sounds fun.
So that's the plan. It takes, like I said, my goal for May is to have the artwork in and submitted by the end of May, and then the cards don't take long to print up, and then it's just the logistics of contacting. But we're going to try that at Keystone Comic-Con. We're going to try to make that a big con on this side of the state.
When is that one?
September, I want to say.
September, okay.
Middle of September.
I'll try and make time for that one, because that one's, Keystone is hosted by Reed Pop, isn't it?
Reed Pop.
The same people that
Mary
do
Franklin and all those people.
Same people that do New York Comic-Con and San Diego
and
Comic-Con. Celebration. Which, come on, let's get some Celebration news. I know, everybody's waiting.
That's what I'm waiting for, too. Yeah, hopefully maybe we'll have a Celebration special once we find out.
That'd be pretty cool.
But, so that's what we're going to try to do. I don't know if that's really the only news I have for the fall, because it seems like everyone's calendars is kind of like, summer kind of slows down a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah.
So, I think that's what I think that's all we got.
Yeah, I guess so.
So,
even though this is 2 months worth of 2 months worth of podcast in one episode,
we'll get it back on track. But if you want to contact us, it's Mike at I almost said Zoe's podcast. Mike at Caridacast.com
or Colin at Caridacast.com. 1L.
And
find us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook if you haven't already.
It makes us feel good. Yeah. Leave us reviews on iTunes. Pushes us up in the rankings.
Send us messages and things that either information we've gotten wrong, information you'd like us to talk about,
right?
Or
just a shout out.
Yeah, just a shout out.
If you have a trooper you want us to say something good about, you can send something bad. We're not going to say it, but if you want to say something good about a trooper or something or an event, let us know anything questions. Yeah.
Yeah, just talk to us. We're nice people. We like to talk to people.
Right.
For the most part.
Yeah, most days. So, so check us out, and if you're a member, again, please try to Squire.
Absolutely.
And that's all we got.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll catch you next time.
Yep.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.